1-2. Swing and a miss. And the White Sox avoid the sweep at the hands of the Diamondbacks as they take this series finale by a final score of 3-1. It is a setback for Arizona in its playoff aspirations.
Very blah game today for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah. I mean, bullpen game. They threw 5 more guys today. They started with Bryce Jarvis. He gave up 2 runs, and then Kyle Nelson came in and gave up a run. But then after that, they were lights out. I mean, that was all the runs they gave up with a 3. Problem was Touki Toussaint and the rest of the White Sox relievers shut Arizona down. They only had 3 hits in a baseball game.
I'll take words I never thought I'd hear string together in my life for 500, Alex. The problem was Touki Toussaint.
The problem was Touki Toussaint. No,
I never thought I'd hear those words come out of anybody's mouth.
Yeah, he gave up 1 run in 4 innings, but Corbin Carroll had 2 hits. Lourdes Gurriel had the other one, and that was it. They didn't have any hits. Marte was 0 for 3. Pham was 0 for 3. Walker was 0 for 4. Alec Thomas was 0 for 4. Gabriel Moreno 0 for 2. Emmanuel Rivera 0 for 2. Perdomo 0 for 3. Just didn't have the bats today. No. Now, they had a chance. There was a chance if they would have won today and the Cubs would have lost that they could have clinched a playoff spot, a wild card spot, which would have absolutely made them bump Merrill Kelly from Saturday. Now, there's still a chance tomorrow that they can get that done. There's still a chance that tomorrow they can clinch. You're hoping, it's not imperative, but you are still hoping that you can avoid having to pitch Merrill Kelly against the Astros on Saturday.
Yeah, Torey Lovello, and this is courtesy MLB TV and the Diamondbacks and their television network. Torey confirmed Zach Gallen will start tomorrow against the Astros.
Yeah, Gallen's going to pitch tomorrow, and we'll just be TBA beyond that.
Okay, and I would imagine if they're able to clinch after tomorrow night, then you'll probably see a couple minor leaguers who get called up and they're going to eat a bunch of innings, and Torey will be able to reset his bullpen a little bit, not use everybody a whole lot, and then go into the weekend. Because I would imagine, and we haven't really talked about this.
Okay.
I would think for the Diamondbacks, just get in. I don't think you're going to really burn anybody up or burn anybody out to try to get the 5th wild card spot or the 6th wild card spot.
No, the most important thing is Merrill Kelly pitching game 1, whether it's the Phillies or the Brewers. It doesn't matter.
That's what I think too.
It doesn't matter.
I don't think you're playing for 5 if you're the Diamondbacks. I think you're just playing to get in.
Once you're in, it doesn't matter who you play. You shut down Kelly from pitching Saturday. You have him go game 1. You have Gallen go game 2, and then if you need a game 3, it would be Brandon Pfaadt in game 3.
I'm sure, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday. I'm sure the Diamondbacks are very happy to come home. This was for only 6 games on the road. This is a really long road trip. All the weather, all the moving parts, right? Like we're playing at this time, we're playing at that time. Lovello was asked about that after the game.
Maybe. I mean, we've spent, it feels like the past month in either New York or Chicago, right? We've been here a lot. And it's been a little bit of grind, but we're conditioned to it. That's what we're supposed to do. I think, maybe we are a little bit fatigued. But I think everybody is right now. But coming home will be nice. We want to get home, regroup the troops a little bit, and play a good baseball game. That's where my sights are. But yeah, it's been a little bit of a grind. A little bit of a grind coming back and forth to New York and Chicago a couple times this month.
You mentioned the clinch scenario. There are still games to watch tonight, and I think chief among them is the Cubs. And when they take on the Atlanta Braves, because the Cubs have absolutely blown it these last couple of days, right? They've put themselves in a position where they're on the fringe, and maybe they get in, maybe they don't. Cubs lose tonight. The magic number for the Diamondbacks is basically 1, right? At least one Cubs
one
loss.
Combination of, yes. Yeah, it could be tomorrow.
And if the Marlins lose tonight, too, to the New York Mets, you go into Friday's game with a magic number of 1. At that point, it's going to be, I don't want to say anything jinxy, but I'm not superstitious. I am a little stitious, as they say in the office. You go into the weekend with a magic number of 1, you're pretty much there, right? So the question will be, can you officially, even if the magic number is 1, you've got to throw Merrill Kelly on Saturday. Like if you're still magic, you can't assume that magic number is 1. We'll be fine. We're going to get in. You got to throw Merrill on Saturday, even if your magic number is 1.
If you haven't clinched by Saturday, Merrill Kelly's taking the mound, and now figure it out. So then he pitches Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So if he has to pitch If he has to pitch on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, he can pitch Thursday.
Thursday is game 3. It's
game
the deciding game of the wild card, if you even get to game 3 of the wild card.
So that would be Fott would go game 1, Gallen would go game 2, Kelly would go game 3. It's not the worst. Now, you could also decide whether to pitch somebody on short rest. Okay? Good. You could go short rest. You could say, if you're down a game, you could have him go on short rest. They caught one major break. I'll tell you what that is. They caught one major break. That they didn't have to play a doubleheader in New York on Monday. It was raining in New York on Sunday. That's the day Gallen pitched. Mm-hmm. They were really hoping and praying that they were going to get that game in. Because if they had to play a doubleheader Monday,
takes Gallen out of the equation.
It would have taken Gallen out of the equation.
Yeah.
So then Gallen would have pitched Monday with Kelly Monday. So then you go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You could only pitch one of Gallen or Kelly against the Astros. Mm-hmm. So that was the biggest break they got, was that the rain held up enough for them to get that game in, and they didn't have to play a doubleheader in New York Monday, because a doubleheader in New York Monday meant Gallen and Kelly pitch Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, neither one of them pitch. So, then you go Saturday, Sunday. It just would have really messed them up to where maybe only one of them would have been able to pitch in the playoffs.
If scoreboard watching tonight, the games that you're going to want to keep an eye on, there are 2 of them. And if you keep it right here on Burns and Gambo, we'll keep you completely updated on both of these games. The Marlins are at New York in Queens, taking on the Mets tonight. That game starts at 4:10. The Cubs are in Atlanta taking on the Braves tonight. That game starts at 4:20, so basically at the same time.
You see how the Cubs lost that game the other day?
Yeah, Seiya Suzuki
he dropped the ball.
He just whiffed it. At the very last second,
you got the play call on that,
ghosted
Mitch?
him. He just vanished on him. Vanished on him.
Incredible.
Yeah.
He called off the center fielder.
Yeah, 2 runs came around to score. The Braves were like, okay,
your little
fine,
league coach teaches you that. You don't call off a center fielder.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the better fielder. He called him off. He tried to catch the ball. Doesn't catch it. Both runs score.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was a crazy game. So those 2 games tonight, both of those teams, the Marlins and the Cubs, identical 82 and 76 records. Now they've got the Marlins listed as the 3rd and final wild card team. I'm guessing they've got the tiebreaker over the Cubs.
They have the tiebreaker over them, yes.
So the Marlins, right now, Marlins are the 3rd wild card team. So obviously you're rooting for the Mets. Obviously you're rooting for the Braves tonight. Something else that happened last night of somewhat significance.
The Astros?
The Houston Astros beat the Mariners 6-2. So that gave them a little bit of wiggle room in the standings now. They have a 1.5 game lead over the Mariners for the final wild card spot in the American League. The Mariners start a series against the Rangers tonight. The Astros are off.
Best thing that could happen is that the Astros, are celebrating a wild card berth tomorrow, and that way they will, because right now you're set to face Verlander in one of these games.
Yeah. So now they can reset their rotation for the wild card round.
And you don't face Verlander.
Amen.
So that could be it's possible that both the Diamondbacks and the Astros don't need these games. It is possible.
Oh, it's very possible.
Based on what happened. Like the Astros are 3 games behind the Rangers, okay? 3 behind with 3 to play. Rangers win 1 game, it's done. You're not gonna catch them. It's over. But if they could clinch a wild card, then they could avoid Verlander. The way we're talking about Merrill Kelly not pitching Saturday, they're doing the same thing with Verlander. They don't want Verlander to have to pitch.
Sure. So if you're scoreboard watching tonight, and I would encourage you to do so, then the games that you are watching very closely tonight, there are 3 of them. You're watching the Mets and the Marlins, as I mentioned. You're watching the Cubs and the Braves, as I mentioned. And then at 6:40 tonight, you're watching the Rangers and the Mariners, and you're rooting like heck for the Texas Rangers.
And by the way, these 3 games are here. Chase Field, Diamondback fans, big 3 games. Big 3 games. Astros at the D-backs.
Yeah. Big 3 games. Unless, and I'm not encouraging people not to go, unless they're not. Because by Saturday.
Tomorrow's game's huge.
Tomorrow's game's enormous.
Huge game.
We're not usually, hey, come on, guys, get down and support. Do whatever you want to do. It's your money. It's your decision. Tomorrow night would be a really nice night for you to get down to the ballpark and support the Arizona Diamondbacks because that's a big game. Big game.
Yeah, you might be celebrating them clinching a playoff berth for the first time since 2017.
Cubs are in Milwaukee I think, tomorrow.
Yeah, Cubs are in
After
Milwaukee.
the Braves series?
Yeah, it's supposed to
Okay.
be Wicks versus Peralta on Saturday, and then it's tomorrow. It's Kyle Hendricks against Brandon Woodruff. But you also question, like, what does Milwaukee have to play for?
Not a thing.
Like, they should just set their rotation.
They've clinched the Central.
Right.
They're going to play a wild card game against either a wild card 3 games, best of 3 against either the Diamondbacks, Cubs, or the Marlins. There's absolutely nothing for them to play for.
They're playing right now, and they've got Burns pitching. Corbin Burns, no relation to Dave Burns.
He's got an E.
Yes,
And I don't.
So he is not going to pitch in that series. They're one of their best pitchers is not going to pitch in that series.
Yeah. Hopefully this thing gets done. I wish we'd gotten a little closer today.